fan of the Hodaki Big Show podcast? Make sure you check out more from Jay, Smike and Kizzy on their Instagram @Hodaki Big Show. Or tune in to them 4 to 7 every weekday on Radio Hodaki. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. Eyes to the front, pugs.
Isn't that your mate that loves the darts?
Yeah,
you were
she
saying
does.
the other day?
Yeah, you can tell she's had a fair few darts in her life, Mogi.
Everybody loves the darts. Pugs,
Yeah,
give it an
yeah.
opportunity, brother.
You ever smoke darts, pugs?
On occasion.
Really?
You strike me
Yeah,
as a guy
totally.
who gets a few beers in him and he starts chuffing away there.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, you strike me as the complete opposite, actually.
Oh, really?
I cannot imagine you having a durry.
I bet he looks good doing it.
I bet he looks hot, man.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
on
Nice
I
hat,
feel like
by the
I
way.
do. Hey, cheers, man.
Hey,
What shoes are
Hawaii.
you wearing?
Just my Chucks, Jace.
Oh, your
My
charts.
Chuck 70s.
That is a good
there.
hat, that one.
Appreciate it. Just a trade me job. Love me some trade me.
Some trade me deals.
Yeah.
Eyes to the front, Pugs. Hey, how's it going, fellas? Big weekend ahead?
Well, interestingly, I had one of those conversations today, Mogi, with my lovely wife.
Yo,
And it was a classic Hoity J and his wife conversation, i.e.,
Yes. Have you got something on and you didn't know about it?
it was, so what do we do this weekend, babe? And she said, well, you remember I've got that party at 2 tomorrow.
You
And I
remember.
went, what party?
Yeah. Correct,
And-
correct answer, by the way.
And she told me it's a kids' party that she's been invited to.
Sick.
And then she said, and also I've got that 50th tomorrow. You can come.
Low.
And I
Low.
went, nah.
Knowing damn well.
And
Yeah.
then there was something else on Sunday
Wow.
that she was doing as well. And I went, so I basically won't see you this weekend. Is that
Good.
essentially what you're saying? And she said, well, I did tell you all this stuff.
But also, you're free to join her,
Not for the kids' party.
which is a plus.
Yes. And the 50th was an old workmate who I have no idea who they are.
Nevertheless, you could go.
Yeah.
I
And
could,
spend time with your wife.
Sure.
but why would I?
But you can't say to her, oh, I'm not going to see you all weekend, but you're free to go with her.
I didn't. What I said was, oh, so you're pretty booked up then.
Oh, okay. I was going off what you said,
Yeah,
Right.
you did say.
which was, I won't see you all weekend. And she said, I told you about these.
Yes.
Yeah, you knew about this. But do you...
And in fairness to her, in the far reaches of my mind, there's a flickering flame of
recognition.
Recognition, yes.
Yeah, I sort of, they've got a good little thing going there, haven't they? Where they'll sort of tell you that something's coming up,
Yes.
but they'll tell you it's so far away that I immediately flush the information. It's got no relevance to me.
Correct.
In a month or 2 months or 3 months, this is happening. Okay, well, I don't need that. That information is gone. You tell me closer to the time.
Correct.
And so then but oftentimes I'll tell you closer to the time, like a day before or 2 days before, and you're like,
Or
I don't-
on the day.
I was like, you've never told me this. Oh, I have told you this. When? I don't know, but I've told you. Oh, you don't know. Well, I bet you told me outside my window of needing to remember.
Yes.
My window of needing to remember is I can probably do 2 weeks. That's probably it.
I'd go a week.
Yeah.
Anything outside that is, you don't even bother.
But then they exploit that, and then they say that they've said, which I don't always believe them. I told you about this.
Yes.
Nah, I don't think you
I've called my wife a couple of times.
What'd you call her?
And I said,
You can't call them a liar.
you did not tell me about that. And she's acknowledged, oh, actually, maybe I didn't tell you
Yeah.
about that. That's happened once or twice in our 26 years together.
Once or twice, exactly right. But there's no ever sort of feeling in the conversation or the relationship that perhaps their memory could be faulty.
Correct.
Their memory is infallible. Yours is a shit show, and it is.
Mine is.
But so is theirs to a degree. The thing
Indeed.
that they remember clearest of all is the things that they've told you.
Turn that coin, flip that coin over, and I've said to my wife,
I
I see the front pugs. I've said to my wife, on occasion. By the way, on Friday, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Come Friday, you all go, shall I pick you up, or how do you want to do it? Do what?
Yes.
You know, we're going out for dinner with yada yada. When did you tell me that? Well, I don't know, about a week ago. So it happens to her as well.
It does, but
generally what happens is she will argue that I didn't tell her that.
100%. Everybody does. And
Yes.
then, but the thing is that generally they're the ones making the plans because you just want to stay at home. So you don't make any plans.
No, generally I do like to be at home, but also I quite like my fishing and all that sort of carry on.
But
so
does she need to be involved in the fishing?
she quite likes coming fishing.
She does,
with me.
but generally speaking, who goes fishing?
Me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't require plans.
No. Pugs?
Yeah.
Is that how you feel about it when you're bagging your missus on the podcast?
No, my lady's memory and mine are both equally as bad as each other.
Oh, that's
to be
good.
fair.
Well, that's
We're
good.
both pretty unreliable in that regard.
I think what happens is as you sort of move along in your relationship, there ends up being a hell of a lot more admin.
Yes.
So yeah, there's just more admin around everything else as you
People
get
to see,
There
places
just
to
is.
be,
Yeah,
shit
kids,
to do.
appointments.
Yes.
You know, you might have a house now, and now there's shit to do. There's people coming to look at this and that, and then you got to get the cars sorted. You know, all that sort of shit.
Yes.
So as you get older and you gather more bullshit, yeah, there's more time spent on that. That's why you got to run a list, Jace.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I run the calendar now.
Nice.
I have been for some time.
Good on you, mate.
You know, where I just go, I'll put that in my calendar, actually.
And yet this weekend
then-
you had no idea what was happening.
And then what'll happen is I'll get a notification half an hour before, and I'll go, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's got to be
That's
the
right.
day before, doesn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
always do my calendar notifications the night before whatever it is.
Yeah, I had one
Oh, do you?
recently,
Yeah.
which was 10 minutes, and it was for the dentist. I
Right.
was like, ooh.
Oops. We're just getting more and more random.
That's right.
Last day of the week, my last day on here.
So re the weekend. I've got some plans. Yes.
The Hodaki Big Show Podcast. The Hodaki Big Show Podcast.
Because I actually did suggest to my wife 3 days ago. I said, "Oh, I want to take you out to lunch to that place we went to
Oh, sure.
the other, with a mate of ours." And she went,
Nice.
"Oh, yeah, that'd be really nice."
BK.
So there you go. You see, almost caught her in a lie.
You nearly got her, man. You nearly won the relationship.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I find it's just easier to go, "Oh, okay, my bad."
Oh, a fucking oath it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Though to be honest, I mean, with my wife,
Yeah.
What about your wife?
That was a weird pause.
she's kind of a bit like me, and sometimes she doesn't give a shit either.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And she's really good. I'll tell you where she's really good.
This is not what you're saying off here.
Where she's really good is where she says, "Totally over to you whether you come or not. I don't mind."
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or is that just a trap that she's setting for me?
Oh, well, it
And
can
she's
be.
and she's just listing all the times I didn't go with her. But actually, eyes to the front, Pugs. On that front,
Relax.
I've actually made a commitment to my wife
It's that pause again. It is weird.
That's good.
that I'm going to make more of an effort to go to her social gatherings. And
Why?
and indeed, on that front, we have her work due next Saturday.
Sure.
Nice, man.
Why would you do that?
Pardon?
Why would you do that?
Because it's important to, be by her side at these things, because she doesn't particularly like parties either.
Does she want you there?
Yes.
Well, then in that case, great.
Yeah. And also, a lot of her workmates listen to our show
Yeah.
Right.
and constantly say to her, "Does your husband really?" The
So,
sentence starts like that.
Yeah.
And she'll go,
I'm surprised that you want to put yourself through that.
Yeah, not
of
really.
everything.
Not really.
But of course, they listen to the podcast as well, so they're going to know that you don't want to see them. How do you think they're going to feel about that?
I don't think they would listen to the podcast. Weirdly.
Based on...
I don't know. Their age.
Sure.
Did you go
My
to the...
mum's an avid podcast listener. She listens to the show, the podcast.
Same with my mum.
Funny story on that.
Oh,
You
my
download
mum.
it for your mum.
No, my brother was driving my mum a couple of days ago in the car there, and he had our show on because he listens to my show, and he went, "What do you think of that, Mum? The radio there?" And she was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "So what do you think of that? It's your son on the radio. It's your son on the radio. Just
Which
there."
one?
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, yes, he's on the radio."
Shit.
And they said, but I've never actually listened to him. 12 years I've been doing this gig.
Yeah.
But in fairness, I often say to my mum, particularly
You
with
wouldn't
this,
like it, Mum.
yes,
Yeah. You think she'd make an attempt?
you know, even like with Moon TV and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's not really a cup of tea, Mum. She loves Brokenwood.
Who doesn't? Well, you're on that. There you go.
Yes.
That's almost incidental, though, isn't it?
And that's not to denigrate my mother in any way. She's got a huge scrapbook of everything that she sees about me.
That's funny, eh?
That's
Yes.
wholesome.
And yet doesn't want to watch any of your content.
Well, she watches Brokenwood and she'll watch...
Yeah, but she watches Brokenwood and you happen to be on it.
True.
She doesn't watch it because you're on it.
Oh, no, she does.
Oh.
Every conversation she says to me, are you on the TV with anything coming up on the TV? And I'll say,
No.
no.
It's been a bit of a light run, Ma.
Been like, well, by choice.
Yeah, of course.
By choice, fellas.
Indeed.
Indeed.
That's long, eh? Shit,
Jesus,
12 minutes.
that's like
12 minutes. Oh, my God.
Your Horaki Big Show Keezy word of the day is
Jockstrap.
Oh.
I can't remember anything we talked about.
Well,
No.
You were banging on about your wife.
no.
Yes, you were.
We were talking about...
Schedule, calendar.
Scheduling.
Go schedule.
Scheduling.
Go schedule.
Just schedule. Sure.
Go schedule.
Anything with schedule in it.
That is the last Keezy word for the week. So send that along with the other 4 to @HorakiBigShow on Instagram with your contact number. We could be calling you on Monday with a prize. While you're there, follow Hoodie J, Mr. Mike Minogue. Call me Pugs. Don't follow Chris Key and Zeb, whatever you do.
Oh, yeah, and listen to the Wellington Paranormal podcast while you're at it. Jeez, it's good, man.
If you want.
Yeah. Bloody good. Holy.
God.
I'm going to have you on that. Talk about you when you embarrass yourself ripping your mask off on What We Do in the Shadows.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Can I just check my calendar?
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.